Welcome back, the only place where the headlines get cracked wide open before the rest of the internet even knows what hit them. King Harris has managed to stir up a storm once again, and this time the situation is louder than his Waffle House antics or his courtroom drama. The internet is buzzing because his own baby mama allegedly leaked something that fans are labeling a so-called tape of King. Whether the footage is even real doesn't seem to matter, because social media has already crowned it fact, and of course, the old conversations about King's lifestyle have been dragged right back to the surface. Whispers about King's image have been floating around for years. Some people said he was putting on a front, others said his baby storyline was just a cover. Now this latest situation has brought all of those theories back to life, feeding a narrative that people online are obsessed with picking apart. But the real twist came when Boosie decided to insert himself into the drama. Instead of throwing shots at King directly, he shifted the target and clowned T.I., making it clear this wasn't just gossip anymore. It turned into a fresh opportunity for people to question T.I.'s parenting and the way he raised his son. Even before this latest scandal, King was already being questioned as a father. From the moment his baby mama announced her pregnancy, fans weren't convinced the situation was what it seemed. The main detail that had everyone talking was her being older than him, and comments poured in with people saying things like, "Girl, you knew exactly what you were doing." Then a clip of King with his baby mama and their newborn hit the blogs, and instead of quieting things down, it lit the fire even brighter. Not long after that, people began making claims about money motives, swearing she only got pregnant to secure the Harris name and the lifestyle that came with it. They argued she saw the family fame and fortune and decided that having a baby would guarantee her place in the picture. It didn't matter if it was true or not, because once the internet builds a story, it runs with it. Then came the biggest moment of speculation, the baby's arrival. You'd think that would have silenced the doubters, but it only added more noise. The comments started rolling in with people claiming the baby didn't look like King, while others insisted he was just rushing into fatherhood for clout. Eager to prove he was grown, King tried to fight back the only way he knew how, by going online and calling the baby his twin. He posted pictures and captions saying, "Y'all can't tell me this ain't mine," trying to shut down the speculation once and for all. But instead of ending the talk, it gave fans more fuel to analyze, debate, and drag the story further into chaos. Here's the twist. The harder King tried to convince everybody that this baby was his twin, the more folks refused to buy it. And let's be real, it wasn't just about the baby at all. For years, the internet has been side-eyeing him with endless rumors about his lifestyle. So when the pregnancy news hit, fans were quick to flip the script, saying things like, "He's just trying to prove something." Now with this so-called leaked tape making rounds online, those same voices are doubling down, dragging out every old rumor and claiming this was the game plan from day one. According to them, the baby wasn't about love or family, it was about strategy. A way to drown out speculation and create an image that couldn't be questioned. People started calling it the cover-up move, saying King thought fatherhood would silence the chatter once and for all. Instead, it just made the spotlight hotter, because now fans are dissecting every word, every post, and every moment like it's evidence in a trial. And this isn't even the first time he's been accused of playing role. For years, fans have said King has tried too hard to sell the tough guy narrative. He's talked slick, jumped into beefs he didn't need to be in, and constantly performed like he was born and bred in the trenches. But then people look back and remember who his parents are. This isn't some underdog story from the block. King grew up with money, privilege, and more safety nets than most people could dream of. That's where the contradiction kicks in. On one hand, he's trying to paint a picture of being hardened by struggle. On the other, everyone knows he spent much of his childhood living with his grandma in an environment very different from the story he's trying to sell now. That doesn't mean life was easy, but it doesn't exactly scream, "I had to fight my way out." Get you, that's my baby. They're my baby, you get it. That energy sums up why people don't buy into King's act. Every time he hops online shouting about being from the hood, the comment section lights up with the same reaction. Be serious. Fans are convinced he's been trying to force this street persona for years, desperately layering on the tough guy image to cover the fact that at the core, he doesn't really fit the role. It's like he's fighting two completely different battles at the same time, one to prove that he's a grown man and a father, and another to prove that he's some type of hardened street boss. Instead of coming off strong, It just makes the whole picture look messy and unstable. And the spiral only got louder as more receipts hit the internet. The turning point came when those infamous Waffle House clips started flying across timelines like wildfire. One viral video captured King going toe-to-toe with employees in the middle of the restaurant, and the energy was wild. He wasn't just raising his voice, he was loud, dramatic, throwing his weight around like the place was his stage. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. Here was the son of T and Tiny, a family that built an empire on music, TV, and influence, standing in a fast food spot and acting untouchable over what some mix-up in his order. To the public it felt less like a gangster moment, and more like a tantrum dressed up in bravado. The optics were terrible. People instantly dragged him for being privileged, spoiled, and out of touch with the very struggle he claims to represent. I live with my grandma, we'll go to the house on like the weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today, we need y'all at the come get me from my grandma house. And right after we done, when them cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma house. That's the part that really had the internet buzzing. King didn't just get clowned by strangers online, his own father stepped in and called him out. The very next day after that Waffle House fiasco, T.I. jumped on live and addressed the situation head-on. Instead of brushing it off, Tip admitted he couldn't wrap his head around why his son felt the need to argue back and forth with somebody just doing their job at a fast food counter. T explained that he and several of King's uncles had already tried to sit him down, tried to make him see the bigger picture. They reminded him that he lives a life most people could only dream about. The name, the opportunities, the money, the safety. So why waste energy trading insults with employees who were simply showing up to work? To T.I. it wasn't just about the argument, it was about King making choices that screamed insecurity instead of maturity. That made the whole moment sting even harder for fans watching. Here was a father who built an empire in hip-hop and reality TV, now publicly admitting his son was squandering chances other people would kill for. Some fans praised T for keeping it real, saying it was about time he held his son accountable. Others saw it as a crack in the family's image. T.I. airing out missteps to the world instead of handling it behind closed doors. The heated exchange at the restaurant also echoed online. Whistle, but what I'm saying is they wasn't talk like that outside. Hey, I can talk how I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live. Shoddy. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you, I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? A person that work. What's your name? My name King. You know it. And your mama know. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Found you. It was obvious T.I.'s advice didn't stick because not long after King's name was back in the blogs for all the wrong reasons. As T.I. put it, of course I spoke with my son, me and his uncles. We were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he were doing to engage someone who was at such another level of life. He said he had to explain that when people aren't living the way they hope to live, and here you are walking in with so much freedom and luxury, folks are going to posture themselves a certain way, so you have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your life. But the next headline wasn't a restaurant rant or a live stream argument, it was something way more serious. His arrest footage from 2024 dropped online, and the internet had a front row seat. According to police reports, it started when King pulled out of a gas station in his BMW and nearly clipped a squad car. Officers said when they walked up to the window, they immediately smelled weed coming from the car and they spotted a gun tucked on his hip. When they ran his name, they discovered an outstanding warrant from 2022 tied to reckless driving, speeding, a suspended license, and a DUI. He'd skipped court, leaving the warrant hanging over his head. The footage showed officers pulling him out, cuffing him on the spot, and marching him to county jail. Surprisingly, King wasn't wilding in the clip, no yelling, no tough guy act. He looked calm, almost resigned, like he knew the house of cards was coming down. But while King tried to keep his cool, the internet didn't. Timelines lit up instantly. To fans, the video wasn't just an arrest, it was confirmation of everything they'd been saying. Comments called his gangster image a backfire, saying the path he was on had only one ending, and this was chapter 1 of it. The clip even included the standard Miranda language, if you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed, and then a matter-of-fact exchange, the officer noting a non-felony found in the ashtray and the sleeve saying someone had to get charged. King declined to